Am I the asshole for calling my dad's wife by her name? My 26 female dad got married a few years ago to Kaylee. They don't really have the best relationship, but to each their own. Kaylee has been trying to get me and my brother to call her a more endearing name. She told us to give her a nickname, and then she suggested we call her Mom. Mind you, our mom is very much alive and we have an amazing relationship with her. She then complained to us that when we visit them we seem to only want to spend time with our dad, more than we do with her. They live in a different country. Last night we went to get some coffee and she began to complain that we never want to be with her, and that we don't love her even though we are her children, her words. I told her that we do love her, but she isn't and will never be our mom. Now she isn't speaking to me and is sulking around the house, and I'm wondering if I went too far. So am I the asshole? Edit. Thank you all for your replies. The nicknames you came up with made me and my brother laugh so hard. And for everyone asking, she is in her late 30s. Not the asshole. It is absolutely bizarre that a woman would ask her husband's adult children to call her mom. If he only married her a few years ago, I assume you haven't known her since childhood, but even if you did, her demand is unreasonable. Sometimes even when the child was very young and the mom passed, they don't call the stepmom mom. But demanding this of adult kids is creepy. Not the asshole. Mom, she had no part in raising you and you didn't even know her when you were a child. Not the asshole. She told us to give her a nickname. FFS, Kaylee, is the furthest fucking thing from the sort of formal that even warrants a nickname. No one named Kaylee is old enough to be a 26-year-old's mom. Yes, I'm generalizing, but I doubt I'm too far off. Not the asshole. I've been a stepfather for around 25 years and my stepdaughter never calls me dad. Sure, if she slips up and calls me dad, I'll respond like a normal human. She has a father that is very much in the picture and I would never try to diminish that relationship by asking her to. When she was 4 and I became a parental figure to her, we asked her if she'd rather call me by my name or call me dad or something else. She picked my first name and we've never even thought to revisit it. People that try to force feelings or titles like this are always so shocked when it blows up in their faces. Am I the asshole for eating non-seafood on Good Friday? I, 29, and roommate, 30, were watching TV hanging out earlier. He is very religious, Christian, and I'm agnostic. He bought all this seafood for Good Friday and I chipped in because I like seafood anyway, so I said sure, I'll take part. I was very keen on just having seafood on the Friday, but it hit 12 a.m. without my knowing and I got a hard-boiled egg out and started eating it after I peeled it. He looked at me, checked the time and freaked the fuck out. He's making wild leaps and attacking me verbally. I'm just posting this because it happened an hour ago and it's really not a big deal, just want some reassurance that he is being over-emotional and a bit wild. Edit. Just to clarify a few things. Thank you for the replies, but there are a ton now, so I'm going to leave my replies as they are. Fasting was not discussed. I don't know if he's that Eastern sect that can't eat eggs. I'm getting the fuck out of this living situation since this is not the first time he has behaved like this. I didn't know eggs were fair game as I do not practice this religion. Edit. 2 people are confused about time zones. As I am writing this it is 1:41 a.m. You're definitely not the asshole. Your roommate's volatile response was uncalled for regardless of what you ate. But what confuses me as a Catholic Christian myself? You can't eat eggs on Fridays in Lent and on Good Friday, so this makes zero sense. I've heard of not eating meat on Fridays during Lent but never eggs? Color me confused. Anyways, not the asshole. Not the asshole, you're not religious, so why would you have to follow his religion's rules? That's super weird. Not the asshole. Everyone has already said it, but you don't follow that religion so you don't have to follow that tradition. Obviously him being very religious he won't see it that way, but correct me if I'm wrong please, as I am not religious and don't 100% know either. I thought the tradition was to only eat fish as a meat, like substituting red meat in chicken, not all foods? I know eggs are part of chicken, but I don't think it's breaking a tradition because it's not the flesh of another animal that isn't fish. So if he is mad about you breaking Good Friday Christian tradition, you didn't. Not the asshole. He is religious, you are not. You are not obligated to abide by his religious practices even if you participate in them casually. Especially something as simple as eating some of the food he prepares. Your roommate is wildly out of line. Is he Catholic? If so, tell him from another Catholic that eggs are not covered by Lenten abstention rules. Same with milk, cheese, butter, etc. Additionally, remind him that wrath is a sin, and that he should see his way clear to remove the plank from his own eye before speck in his brother's eye. What a weirdo. Am I the asshole for setting boundaries with my sister during her pregnancy? Hi all, I, 19s, have a older sister who is pregnant with her second child. She has a 1.5-year-old son. During her first pregnancy, I supported her a lot because her husband was working full-time. I was happy to do it at the time. This time, her husband is studying from home and is present all day. Still, she frequently asks me for help, running errands, watching her toddler after I finish work, etc. I've suggested they consider part-time daycare to give her a break, but she insists her son is too young and that I should help. Recently, she told me she expects me to care for her toddler for the entire first month after the baby is born, so she and her husband can focus on the newborn. I told her I'm exhausted after work and that since her husband is home, he should be more involved. What's been hard is that when I do help, she often tells our mom that I'm not doing enough. Then I get scolded by our mom, which makes me feel unappreciated and guilty. I care about my sister, but I feel like she's assuming I'll always be available, without considering my own limits. I'm starting to feel emotionally drained and like my efforts aren't respected. So, am I the asshole for saying no and establishing limits even though she's pregnant? Not the asshole. You're her sister, not her free nanny. Tell her you are happy to help out when it works for you and your schedule, but she should make some other arrangements because you aren't available all the time. You're doing her a favor, not the other way around, and she should be appreciative of any help she gets. Beggars can't be choosers. And if your mom is so concerned, she should go help rather than guilt-tripping you. Not the asshole. This is a ridiculous demand. Do not give in. What's more, her plan would give her toddler major trauma. You need to tell her that if she wants her kid to bitterly resent his new sibling forever and need years of therapy due to the abandonment issues she's about to give him, carry on. Somebody's gotta speak up for the little guy. My heart goes out to him. Not the asshole. You didn't give birth to those kids, so you have no obligation to help take care of them. You choose to help out because they're family, and you love your family. I can relate to this, but it may be time to set some boundaries. Explain that you are willing to help but not obligated to help, and not all the time. Don't let them gaslight you or blame you either. You are not abandoning them or anything. You are doing more than enough, and if they can't accept the boundaries or keep complaining, then stop helping them. Focus completely on yourself. If you want to hang out with the nephew because you wanted to, then that is also fine, just don't let them walk over you. Not the asshole. First of all, you already helped a lot and they should appreciate you more about it cause her kids are not your responsibility. YK what? They are actually taking advantage of you and wanted you to do more is just too much. Setting boundaries on this situation is necessary and it's not being mean or selfish. Not the asshole. You are not the obliged to care for the toddler. Anyone who cries, but it's FAAMMLLYYY, goes to the top of your "here's who else is offering to help" list. Why do your sis and brother-in-law think it's not necessary for the toddler to bond with his new baby bro, sis? Not the asshole. An 18-month-old will be extremely distressed to be replaced by a new baby. A horrible plan if I ever heard one. Am I the asshole for destroying my fiancé's relationship with his son? Throwaway cause my fiancé knows my main. Also, excuse me if there are any mistakes, my mind is a mess right now. Buckle up, as this will be a long ride. I, 26F, have been in a relationship with my fiancé, 27M, for 4 years and we were set to get married in July before all of this happened. For some context, we met in high school when I was an exchange student in his home country. We dated briefly while I was living there, but we broke up as we both agreed long distance wasn't going to work for us. Years later, he moved to my city and started talking again, which led to a formal relationship between us. He moved in with me a few months ago and everything was great for a while. Another important detail is that his family is still at his hometown, which he visits every month, as his mother has poor health and cannot travel easily. I can't go with him very often due to work-related issues, but we always keep in contact through the day, which never made me suspicious. Now, into the main issue. Last night, I received a phone call from his country. I knew his sister had recently changed her number, so I thought nothing of it, but it was a woman's voice I'd never heard before at the other side of the line. As soon as I answered, she started shouting at me, cursing so fast I could hardly understand her. I cut it off the call, but she sent me a bunch of texts, claiming she was my fiancé's girlfriend and demanding I leave my apartment as I was clearly after his money. To say I was flabbergasted would be an understatement. I replied by sending her photos of our engagement party and some of when we were in high school, explaining that we've been together long before she started dating him. She called again, but this time, when I answered, she was sobbing and told me they have a son together. Apparently, they used to be friends with benefits but decided to get together for the sake of her son. Earlier that day, she caught him messaging me, so she unlocked his phone and, when confronted with the evidence, he said I was just a fling who meant nothing to him, who didn't care about his real family, and refused to leave his apartment. I told her my side of the story, including that I'm the only one in the lease and that I knew nothing about her or her child. She apologized for her prior call and hung up. After a while, my fiancé called me crying, berating me for ruining his life, as his girlfriend had broken up with him, kicked him of her house and said she would make sure he never gets to see his son. He then asked me if I was happy with myself, so I said yes and hung up. I'm crushed by this, and it kinda makes me feel better to know that he was dumped, but a part of me feels bad for causing him to lose his relationship with his kid. So I'm asking you, am I the asshole for telling his girlfriend the truth? ETA. Wow, guys, I wasn't expecting to get this much attention. Thanks for all your comments, I'll do my best to reply to y'all, but let me tell you, I really appreciate all your support. For those asking, yes, he's my ex now, I've blocked him on everything and, hopefully, he'll take the hint and will leave me alone. Any suggestions on what to do with his junk would be greatly appreciated. So this guy was leading a double life and lying to everyone in both of those lives. In what alternate universe would you be in the wrong? Obviously you're not the asshole. Not the asshole because A, you didn't actually do anything, his other girlfriend caught him cheating, you just clarified the scope of it. B, cheating on the mother doesn't give her the right to separate him from his kid. She can make things difficult, but as the father he has a right to see his son and can enforce it if needed. And C, given that he has been proved to be so dishonest, how do you know if the threat is even real? Did you dump him as well? You make it sound like you're still planning on staying with him. Which after this you know exactly what you're getting into. If you do so, please tell us you also dumped him. For the rest of it, not the asshole. Not the asshole. I hope you dumped his horrible butt as well. This man cheated on both of you. Do not marry him. Please make him the ex-fiancé. Not gonna lie. When I read the caption I thought yes, you are. But then I read your story and, well, no you absolutely are not. You didn't ruin that relationship, he did. He ruined it by lying and sneaking around. Don't take that guilt, it's not yours to carry. You did 100% the right thing. Now move on and never ever look back. Do not let this asshat make you feel bad. He destroyed 3 people's lives with his lies. 4 if you count him. How dare he accuse you of anything? You now have July free to do with as you wish.